Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy. Today we're looking at the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392. I'll include a link to the Jeep here in Sandy's website in the description down below. They're providing us with the Wrangler. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get right into it. Under the hood, we have a 6.4 liter Hemi V8 that goes through an 8-speed. Fuel economy is 13 around town, 16 on the highway, with power outputs being 470 horsepower and then 470 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. One of the coolest features with the 392 is the Hydro Guide, and you've got the 392 badges on either side of it. Got your daytime running lights and the turn signal indicators here off to the side, and then circular headlights with more DRLs. Jeep's new satin grille here with the camera there up top. We've got this upgraded steel bumper. It's got fog lights, you've got the bronze recovery points, and it has a winch integrated. And so as a package from the factory, this comes with quite a bit of kit so far. We have 35s wrapped around 17-inch wheels. This is standard now with the 392. We've got a solid front axle, and you've got these little fender flare extensions for the 35s. Rubicon with more of that bronze, and you can see down below with the Jeep badge and the trail rated badge. And yes, there's a final edition decal. They've got these rock sliders from the factory. And you know, with the body painted fender flares and the hardtop, it looks pretty sharp. Now with the key fob, you do have a little flip out key, lock and unlock, remote start, and then the Jeep logo on the back. You actually have keyless entry for the rear swing gate here. Has your little 392 final edition plaque there, which is pretty cool. Painted cage here in the rear, and when it comes to overall cargo space, it's pretty good for what this is. It does also have a 12 volt. Got these nice LED tail lights. We've got another bronze recovery point down below, and yes, hardcore bumper. And then you have a spare 35 there on the back too. And putting it all together, I think that the Wrangler still is really cool looking. It's got that retro boxy design. But let's pop inside. They actually have soft touch at the top of the door panel. You get nice bronze stitching, a little bit of storage down below. More of that bronze on the seats here. The legroom in the back is pretty good. It does push your legs up a little bit because of how high the floor is. We do have a little storage pocket. The rear passengers get an outlet, some USBs, window controls, and some vents. Headroom back here is pretty good because of the boxy design. We've got keyless entry up front. More soft touch on the door panel. You can see again with the bronze stitching down below. Your mirror adjustments. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. 850 pounds of payload capacity, and this vehicle weighs about 5,600 pounds. Cool front seats again with the Rubicon 392, all of the nice stitching, and the seats are power adjustable now with lumbar support. Got our light controls off to the side, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. And let's start her up. Now 392 gets a special steering wheel. It's perforated on either side. Comes with more of that bronze stitching. We've got adaptive cruise control, regular cruise control too if you want to use that. And then you've got controls for the center stack voice command controls. There's paddle shifters in the back of the steering wheel, and then just traditional stalks there behind too. The gauge cluster actually has large analog elements, but you've got that digital screen which you can use to scroll through different bits of info on the vehicle, and then it'll also let you know the drive line, what it's doing there off to the side. Now this comes with a backup camera as well as a front-facing camera. The infotainment system has a shortcut bar here on the side. It does take a second for some of the menus to load up, but it responds to your touch pretty well. Now before we pop down for more controls, you got nice stitching all across the dash here. You can see more there, that's pretty nice. And then even on the grab handle. There's a ton of analog controls here for the radio, for the dual zone climate, for the heated seats, heated steering wheel. It's even this to open or close the valves for the exhaust and your off-road cruise control. Now we've got a bunch of USBs there with an auxiliary, window controls, and then a 12 volt. 4 auxiliary switches built in from the factory. This does come with diff locks front and rear, sway bar disconnect, and off-road plus, which is like your off-road driving mode. We've got our 4-wheel drive shifter here. You notice that this does not have 2-wheel drive, but it does have auto and part-time high, which is nice. And then we've got our shifter for the 8-speed. Couple cup holders, got your emergency brake, and then the center console here. Pretty good storage with the USB. Nice padding and stitching on top. Just a regular rear view mirror. We've got some insulation here for the hard top, and for the front here, you can remove it easily with the latches. 2025 392 final edition, $102,485. Let's see how it performs. Well, 392, definitely, yeah, cool sound. I owned one of these for about 2 years, put about 13,000 miles on it, and I'll just say it at the beginning, the reason why I ended up selling that, I'll go through the other way. The reason I ended up selling that is because it is just not a great daily driver. If you have like short commutes, this is perfect, it's fine. But long highway commutes, and there's just a little bit too much noise, and that's a Wrangler thing, it's not a 392 thing. You close the valves on the exhaust for the 392, and it's actually not that bad on the highway. But yeah, just the wind noise, the tire noise, and all of that gets old after a while. But such a beast. Now the 392, because it's full-time four-wheel drive, steering is unique in a Wrangler, and I will say uniquely vague. Whenever you have full-time four-wheel drive, you're going to have steering that's going to be just a little bit more vague than if you have a part-time system. It's just kind of how it goes when you've got the front wheels coupled up to receiving power. Now the torque that this provides is phenomenal. Ride quality, it's solid axle front and rear, so it's not the most comfortable. It's not bad. The new rear axle setup in the Wranglers actually helps out quite a bit with handling, and therefore kind of makes it a little bit less jarring to ride in. Still drives like a Jeep though. But I will say this feels a lot more tank-like. I think a big part of that is, well, it does way more than a regular Wrangler, but also just having a V8, it just gives it a cool, substantial feel. Definitely a bit of a firmer ride. It's not horrible, but it is quite noticeable. Man, the torque that this thing provides is great. On the low end, right, again, you got a big naturally aspirated V8, so you got quick response, and then you just got this strong low end. It's quite impressive. This is a Jeep that actually is fast. It's actually fast. Like, you know, most of the time Wranglers are pretty slow to get up and move. This thing though, it rockets. And so, I mean, this already has 35s. Like, most of the time you load 35s onto a Wrangler and it's like, boom, acceleration, nah. Sometimes, when it feels like it. Yeah, this is strong. And I think that although it's not necessary, it's nice to have, because with the added acceleration, it makes it so this is, again, like I said, not the best daily driver, but it makes it so it's more daily drivable, because you don't feel like it's taking 20 years to get from 0 to 60. Again, it actually has some get up and go. It's nice. It's nice. So the 392, it's got all this stuff. Like, if you're a Jeep person, this is the ultimate Jeep. That being said, I'll just say it, I think it's just too expensive. I think that Jeep, and here's the thing is, it's not just Jeep. Ford did the same thing with the Bronco Raptor. Both manufacturers got too greedy with their halo off-roaders, and they're just too expensive. I bought my 392 for about 80 grand. That's still a ton of money for a Jeep, but that made sense, because it's like, oh, I'm just paying a little bit of a premium over a V6 with 35s. But now, I mean, it's a huge premium. So I do think that the 392 is a little bit, I shouldn't say a little bit, a lot of it too expensive. I think that this and the Bronco Raptor should be $80,000 vehicles. $80,000, they would sell so well. And that's the thing is, if as soon as these get down to the $80,000 range, gone. Just my 2 cents.